Hello everybody, today is Wednesday, June 21st, and I had to come outside because it is a beautiful day. And I don't know about you guys, but um, I'm in so I'm in love with nature. I'm in love with just being outside that I can like bask in it all day. And played golf with my son today, so that was cool. Didn't expect that. Of course, we always say, "Oh, we're gonna hit golf balls." Nah, we go golfing, but it was fun just hang out with him. Today's topic, I want to talk about the fall and rise. Usually it's the rise and fall. Nope, it's the fall and rise because where I have been in my journey and when I started consuming alcohol was it was in high school. I was a senior. And I remember there was a lot of those kids who um, looked up to me because I didn't drink. I was focused on wrestling. I was an all-state wrestler at East Lansing. Recruited by 12 or I don't know, a lot of colleges. But that's where it started. Of course, you guys know that I did not wrestle in college, and I walked on and played football at Michigan State for a year, and that's when the drinking started really taking over. I was consumed with a girlfriend who lived in Florida, and she ended up dating somebody else, and that just took it to another level. I'm just very happy to make it home okay when I went down there on a few trips. But I remember driving really drunk and on the highway, and I'm fortunate enough not to hurt anybody or hurt myself. But then I caught my first drunk driving in 1991, I believe, and 93 I got another one. Still didn't learn, and then 2000. These dates are, I don't know, but anyway, I got 5, but my 5th one. I I think when someone, it's in a case by case basis in which when you're done, and it's when you're ready. Because my cousin Ray Madrano, he came to me a couple of different times and talked about AA meetings and stuff like that, but I went to him this time. So then he showed me, or took me over to this community, which is called Rise. It's located in Lansing, Michigan, and I was just going to meet Corey and a couple other guys. Corey's a founder, good friend of mine, Corey Warren, and in which they started this community in which it's a sober living. It's very structured. There's different phases, and I was just going to talk to him, say hi, maybe go to a meeting. I did not know this, but I ended up moving in the following Tuesday and staying there for 6 months. And that's where I began to rise. No pun intended. But I'll go to work. But during this time, I was working, and then because I got a 2014, I got a case pending, but I didn't know because I thought that I refused a B8 blood alcohol or breathalyzer at the scene, that it didn't stick. I thought it didn't stick, but my friend of mine got pulled over and gave my ID, and oh, by the way, Mr. Alvarado, you have a felony warrant. I was like, what? Really? From 2 years ago. And so that happened on April Fool's Day, of all days. But I remember then 3 weeks later, that's when I checked into Rise. Pardon me. But from that day, that's when it started, April 23rd, that I never looked back. Because I needed that structure, I needed that foundation to help me. I go to work, I go to meetings, weekends I was there, just hanging out with the guys. Great bunch of guys. Andy Triber is a really good friend who ended up overdosing on heroin, and we'll talk more about him and more about addiction in my future films. But that's one of the guys that I feel, and I met his family. So anyway, he just came to mind. But I had a court date. I think we got it till August, in which I got hired in where I was at, and I did. I was sober for 4 or 5 months prior to me seeing the judge, because after 4 driving convictions, guys, I'm basically an expert at this as far as what to do, what not to do, and what have you. So what I did is graduate RISE in October, but prior to that, the judge. Um, I did a lot prior to this, as far as go to meetings and stuff like that. But I had Judge Giddings there, I had Corey there, Corey Warren, the founder of RISE. I had my son there, I had my sister there, and I had a good support team. But I had to do the footwork. I had to do the things, and I knew I was done. I had to be done. This was a turning point for me to be where I'm at today. I'm very happy where I'm at today. But I ended up doing 10 weekends in jail while working. I'd go there Saturday mornings, I'd get out Monday mornings, and not too many people know about it. Now you do. I'm not ashamed of all these things that's happened to me. I told the judge that this is the best thing that has ever happened to me, because this is not going to define who I am. Drinking is just a part of my life that unfortunately I didn't know how to control. It's a disease. And I'm just thank God that I got it. I finally got it. I finally can be able to give back to my friends, my family, my kids, to my community at RISE. But I did my time. I did my 10 weekends, and trust me, guys, when I only did 10 weekends, or actually it was 8, very, very fortunate, very blessed. And I'll talk about blessings in my future tapes. And as a thought that was coming by to me, what else should I talk about? But since I quit drinking, the blessings have been coming my way, and I know it's through God. I know it's just because He took this away from me. He took alcohol away from me. He took the thing that was holding me back for most of my adult life. And I am so honored and so blessed, and that He can show His grace upon me, because I'm different. I'm just a different person. I remember on Father's Day last year, I used to took the kids to Grand Traverse Resort, and usually when I go to Grand Traverse Resort, it's about golfing and drinking and gambling, and it wasn't about that this time. I took all my kids, and it was about them. I did not gamble $1. I did not drink 1 beer. I did not golf 1 hole. I woke up with my grandson on my back, and I am I'll never forget it. But those are the things that happen to you. Those are the blessings that come to you when you're sober. I can give back now. I can give back to the most important people in my life. But the most important things, I can give back to me. I can give back to God. I can give back to my friends. I can give back to everybody I associate with. And I know this is going to be a platform in which I'm going to be talking to kids and whoever. Because I do have a gift. I do have a gift of communication, and I just however you feel that you have to do something, is, like I said, I love my job, but I can't be just content with what I'm doing, because there's more to me than this. There's more to me than working a 9 to 5. The only thing I wish, and this is the way it had to happen, is that my parents would be here. I know they'd be proud of me, but that's just the way it happened. And I know that they're looking down on me and said, "Finally, mijo, finally you got it." But that's okay. But I just know that my journey is not over yet. I am growing, and that's important to grow each and every day, guys. That when you go through any kind of addiction, that you have a good support team. Sometimes you're not going to have a team, and that's when you got to grind. That's when you got to go to meetings and listen and pay attention and do whatever you got to do, because you're fighting for your life. You are fighting for your life. There's no doubt about it. That's why I always spoke in every meeting. I always try to get back in some way, and because when you go to meetings and when you're in that structured environment, you're like in this little bubble, and everything's gonna be fine. But when you go back to your hometown, people aren't always gonna believe you. They're not gonna trust you, and you have to build that. It takes time to build that. It takes time to build trust. It takes time to build confidence in somebody, especially the ones you let down. And I always think that sometimes people think, oh, he's just talking, he'll end up drinking. No, that's okay. They can think what they want. I don't care. I don't. I'm just very blessed to make this a turning point in my life. And I am growing each and every day. And I still got a lot of growing and a lot of more things to do with my life. But I'll share more. I have to. But like I said, I've fallen. My brother Noe, I'll give credit to Noe. We don't talk as much, but he did say, George, as long as you can fall 99 times, as long as you rise that 100th. I give that one to you, Noe. We don't, like I said, we don't have that strong relationship, but he did tell me that, and that one stuck. That's why I've always tried to give back in some way. I always try to get some value when I speak or when I listen to somebody. Because you're trying to grow each and every day, and when you go to meetings or you're talking to somebody, and it's about the content of what you talk about. Because our brain is an infinity mind of it's a supercomputer in which there's so much information which we want to talk about, and I value the content of what I say, because there's always something that could help somebody, because everybody's hurting in some way, shape, or form. Not everybody, but some things we don't know what goes behind closed doors, guys. We don't. I just like to reach out to my friends, and if you guys are hurting or something like that, just please pray, have faith, and that you are beautiful inside and out, and that this shall pass. That's what I always told myself, because it gets better. It does get better. And I want you guys to remember that there's one thing that I do not do. I do not hold grudges. That's one thing you cannot do, because it plants a seed in here, and I cannot let that ever happen to me. And that's what I tell my kids. It's no matter what, no matter if they wronged you or whoever wronged you, it's not a good thing. Be the better person. Kill them with kindness. But anyway, that's all I have to say today. But yeah, fall and rise. Yeah, why not? And I know you guys. Another thing too is one thing. If you guys have any comments or any suggestions of any topic, I would love to hear from you. And like I said, it can be about anything. But thank you so much for listening, and God bless you guys. Have a good night.